Synchronicity is an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see. Never do human beings speculate more or have more opinions than about things they do not understand. Have you ever experienced something that seemed to answer all of your inner sighs and silent prayers? Sometimes life's coincidences seem to take us by surprise, and most often than not, people just go with the words, "It was just a coincidence," and move on. We live in a world where we believe that logic is the ultimate truth and that we have to look at things with complete reason, evaluating whether things just happen by mere chance or it is a result of cause and effect. Many of us believe in structure, control, and a clear definition of things to make sense out of life. When thus we are unable to explain things that are beyond reasoning, we just say that it was a mere coincidence or that at least our actions or deep need for something has brought such a situation to happen. Carl Gustav Jung, a prominent Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, stumbled upon this seemingly interesting phenomenon when he was dealing with his patients. He coined the term synchronicity in 1930 after an in-depth analysis of paranormal events that seemed to coincide with human experiences and wishes. A peculiar principle is active in the world, so that things happen together somehow and behave as if they were the same, and yet for us they are not. Sometimes he would struggle to meet the needs of his patients, but once a very illuminating thing happened that brought a breakthrough in his work when he experienced something that he later called synchronicity. In a very prominent example, Jung explains about a patient who had a very rationalistic approach to life that made it hard for her to embrace change and move forward in life. While on their journey into her mind, one night she had a very vivid dream in which she was handed a piece of jewelry shaped like a scarab beetle. Just as she was unfolding this dream to Jung, he felt a gentle tapping at the window. When he opened the window, behold, a scarab beetle. He handed it to her saying, "Here is your scarab beetle from your dream." The perfect timing was so astonishing that it started a journey for deeper inner reflection and self-transformation in the patient, which opened her up to the wonders of life. This was kind of a psychic intuition and direction that enabled her to change her perspective of life that would have otherwise not happened if she hadn't experienced the dream at all. Interestingly enough, the scarab beetle is a symbol in Egyptian mythology that represents rebirth and transformation. How fitting was it for her to experience such an illuminating dream and change of her life at the same exact moment that she had this dream? Synchronicities have a way of showing you the deeper meaning of life, of changing your outlook and trust the gentle unfolding of your life. To believe that the universe is whispering to you all the time, and if you're receptive to it, you will unlock power. Essentially, it means that whatever is meant to be yours is on its way to find you. That when you look back at all that you have gone through and connect the dots, it's revealed that it was truly never random. That you accept and believe that you can only see the connection in the future, and that is okay too. Hence, Jung said, "There's no coincidence, but patterns due to a higher universal order." Scientists and astronomers have studied the universe, its workings, and the physics of almost everything that you can see. Most of them have come up to the conclusion that life has a logical path, and that for things to happen, there needs to be a cause and an ensuing effect. The universe came to be through the Big Bang. We have evolved through millions of years. What matters is the material world where we can see things. So when something happens and one exclaims, "Thank God" or "Thank the universe," it is met with skeptic minds. This happens because a skeptic mind is not fluid or effortless. It wants control and structure, and without these two, the world will not make sense. In Taoist philosophy, effortlessness is emphasized as the best way of life, where we force nothing but let things unfold along their course. We are told to trust and follow the Tao, because whether or not we fight with the way of nature, it will still take its course, and going against it will only bring harsh consequences. Synchronicity is mainly something that happens as it was meant to be. It happens when we align with the conscious nature of the universe, and thus we are able to receive our desires. Trusting fate and wonderful fulfillment of our desires is the way of synchronicity. Whatever is not destined to happen will not happen, try as you may. Whatever is destined to happen will happen, however you may try to prevent it. This is certain. The best course, therefore, is to remain silent. When we learn to trust the language of fate, the language of life, we are then able to trust in the life force. Life force is what most of us call intuition or the voice of God, and when we align with the universe, we allow it to speak to us. And then whatever we want will be physically manifested in what we call synchronicity. Many people believe that the universe speaks to us in different ways, not just through what we see or hear, but even through signs, intuition, and even chance, luck, or fate. In our own human survival instincts, we rarely believe in fate. We want to believe that all our work, all our struggle and structure brings about the results of the future because of our perception that everything in life is meant to torment us. This kind of thinking is what makes us believe in luck or mere chance. It is a primitive instinct for survival that our efforts, even if not reciprocated now, are going to be by chance. According to Taoism, this is a linear perspective of life. Taoists believe in fate because fate includes the presence of the inner world, the nonlinear world. Fate is a result of synchronicity of our inner state with the outer world. This synchronization is a result of the deep state and conditioning of our minds, which remain unconscious. Carl Jung agreed with this view, and that synchronicity and fate is seen as meaningful and purposeful events between these two worlds without causal connection. The unconscious state and fate conspire against an individual to bring upon growth. When we become keen enough to look at our lives, we become conscious of what our subconscious minds want, and when we align this to our fate, then things fall into place in a sync. This concept is important in understanding the shadow aspect of our psyche, as it continually brings out aspects that are deeply seated in our minds. We like to find identity in structure and control, as posed by our own ego. But as we all know, however much we plan in life, things usually seem to go as they were supposed to be. We have very little control of how life pans out, and when we examine it keenly, we realize that these events are here to shake us up, to bring out something inside us that needs work. In essence, this is fate, and our unconscious will conspire to bring out evolution in who we are as individuals. Taoism emphasizes on the power of softness and compares it with water. And just like the softness of water brings about erosion in a rock with time, so does fate change our rigid forms, our preconceived ideas, and brings us to a whole new world to discover. Those things inside you that need change, that have been suppressed by ego, are brought about by fate to be built into a fabric of universal consciousness. An elaborate way to look at fate as synchronicity is to look at pain and suffering. The current trend in the world is to escape pain. We're in a constant flux of finding the things that cause us pain so that we can run away from it. We have found busy schedules to help us not think of our painful lives. We drink copious amounts of alcohol. People are using drugs. We sit idly watching shows and eating. We just find ways to escape. Even major organized religions have this aspect of pain relief. We are taught to believe in a new world that is to come, where there will be no pain and suffering, and that is the escape. Lao Tzu, however, has a different view and believes that to trust fate is to have faith in God, whether fate is pain or joy. Trust and fate are the same thing according to Taoism. When we trust, we let go and live with the concept of Wu Wei. Strategizing and constant fear and worry about the future is a show that we don't trust fate, God, or the purpose of synchronicity in life. Of course, imagination and laying down our plans is not wrong. The wrong thing is planning things with a selfish motive of controlling your destiny. Lacking trust also results in the belief that we exist in a world where God doesn't dwell, that God lives in another realm, and that this is a matrix that someone has created, and that we are mere pawns in the game. Many religions view life as a result of cause and effect, and that in order to conquer this material world, we need to have more faith to remove all causes of bad consequences. However, Eastern religion believes that the universe exists through each one and is a constant vibration that lives in every single being. The universe exists in harmony and we live in synchronicity, whether as a whole or individually. When we thus trust the unfolding of fate in our lives, we become aware of synchronicity. Thus, the principle of Wu Wei teaches us to live in harmony and softness with the universe because effortless living enables us to accept fate as something that softens our resolve and that we accept synchronicity as part of our daily life. Although many religions deny that synchronicity is a result of religious intervention, daily life is a product of divine guidance that exists in our realm. Things that accord in tone vibrate together. Things that have affinity in their inmost nature seek one another. Water flows to what is wet. Fire turns to what is dry. Clouds, the breath of heaven, follow the dragon. Wind, the breath of earth, follows the tiger. Thus the sage arises, and all creatures follow him with their eyes. What is born in heaven feels related to what is above. What is born of earth feels related to what is below. Each follows its kind. Confucius. Lao Tzu teaches about the importance of living in harmony with the yin and yang, and how this harmonious dwelling brings an extension of the universe into our lives, as it has become your entire body. Thus, you live in a spontaneous bubble because the universe has been made one with you. The universe is one single event with differences in fluctuation of the vibration of the Tao, in a way that the wave is distinct from the ocean, but is still the ocean. Thus, if synchronicity exists, then spirit and matter are one. In addition to this understanding by Lao Tzu, many Eastern religions also believe in this aspect. Hermetics and Gnostics believe that spirit and matter are one. The Kybalion in Hermeticism is a book that teaches on how the inner and the outer worlds are in sync and harmony. In addition, the laws of vibration and rhythm show how spirit and matter are in a constant dance with each other, flowing with different magnitude and strength according to their harmonic resonance. The all is mind, the universe is mental. Mind here is not the physical as you understand, but universal consciousness, the foundation of the whole universe. In quantum physics, the same has been concluded that the universe or existence is an extension of this universal consciousness. We exist in three planes: the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. All these aspects of existence are in harmony as if dancing the tango, for without one, we cannot experience the other. This understanding thus enables us to see that human beings belong to a symphony of universal consciousness, and synchronicity is a harmony that is produced by the dance of spirit and water. With this understanding, then, the spiritual person will believe in synchronicity and let go of all the worries, knowing that what they need or want is on its way to them. The unbelieving, on the other hand, just passes these events as mere coincidence and never learns from them. It is in this fashion that Confucius says that what we resonate with deeply will affect our experience, and hence the synchronicity experience between the underlying spirit of one and the external world. Consciousness is not limited to the brain alone. It exists in all universe as a single entity. For example, when it rains, the water nourishes the plants. Human beings and animals in turn feed on the plants to nourish themselves. The carnivorous animals find food in this way. All exist in a cycle or chain that seems to benefit each other in a way of synchronistic advantage. When there is no more separation between this and that, it is called the still point of the Tao. At this still point, in the center of the circle, one can see the infinite in all the things. Carl Jung discovered a profound correlation between the inner world of individuals and the outside results. The collective unconscious is the deepest part of our unconscious mind that's inherited and not shaped by personal experience. It is the source within man that brings about belief and culture on birth, death, union of opposites, and the general perception of the universe. It is the collective unconscious that the archetypes are found, and we experience psychic wholeness through them. The archetypes are unique patterns and images in our unconscious mind that may bring realization to life. For example, father, mother, trickster, among others. These archetypes give a true foundation of our psyche, and they influence our decisions and events that lead to synchronistic events. For example, when you're experiencing a dilemma and then you dream of a wise old woman giving you insight upon the same thing and wake up with the realization of what you should do. This is a profound effect of synchronicity and our unconscious minds. Synchronicity is the language of the spiritually sound, those who find signs and events in the universe that makes an impact on their personal lives. One way to spot synchronicity is being mindful and present to see and experience all the signs, to disconnect from the noise, from the hustle and bustle of daily life, and find quiet and silence to look upon your life and realize the moments where synchronicity played a major role in your life. The other way is to keep a journal of all the life-changing moments that happened to you, the patterns that you recognize, and the lessons that you've drawn from them. This realization will give you the drive to find a deeper purpose for your life. For example, any moment of trauma or pain that you experienced, how you got out, and whether a major synchronistic event occurred to change your outlook of life. The other way is to ask for a sign to come your way, to confirm your faith, to give you renewal and transformation. Synchronicity can be a very important aspect of life. It can guide your major decisions. For example, if you're stuck in a job that you no longer enjoy and want to get out but you're afraid or lack another source of income, you meet someone at work or even your mentor or random person who guides you to look in a direction that you hadn't thought about but realize that you actually have the skills and motivation to do. So be open to such signs of the universe. Let go of control sometimes and let the universe guide you through these major life decisions. Synchronicity can also be useful in relationships with others and romantic relations. For example, you may meet someone at a random coffee shop who matches the description of someone you would really like as a friend, and by chance they order a drink for you, saying that they also wanted a friend like you. Our intuition is also a very important aspect of synchronicity that helps us recognize a pattern or an event fit or unfit for us. All in all, nothing in life really happens out of mere chance, and when you look at things more deeply, maybe then we'll realize that all this time we have had patterns that guide us to choose a path that will bring the best out of us. Whether we ignore them or acknowledge them, and the results we got show us that synchronicity exists and that life is an extension of the universal consciousness. Everything has a path and a deeper meaning. And only if you can trust the unfolding of fate in our lives, then we'll experience these meaningful patterns. When you recognize the role of synchronicity, then everything makes sense and you reach a point of transcendence or numinous quality. You become one with the universe, and the best way to live is by letting go of control, practicing Wu Wei and the art of effortless action, and in harmony with the vibration of the universe. When you are on the right path, the universe winks and nods at you from time to time to let you know. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please support this channel by subscribing and liking the video. I'm so glad to be your host today. See you next time. Bye.